The WWE Universe is built on shock, surprise, and moments that no one sees coming. But on one unforgettable night, the wrestling world was left speechless when rumors became reality. Hollywood action star Steven Seagal, the man famous for his martial arts movies and real-life combat skills, was shockingly involved in a WWE match. Fans didn't know whether to cheer, boo, or rub their eyes in disbelief. The involvement of Steven Seagal wasn't advertised, wasn't teased, and wasn't hinted at. It was suddenly exposed in front of millions, and the truth behind his shocking appearance left the WWE Universe buzzing for weeks. The hook of this story is simple: a martial arts legend, an actor known for his brutal fight scenes, and a man with a reputation for being larger than life suddenly stepped out of Hollywood and into the world of WWE. It wasn't a cameo, it wasn't a backstage handshake. It was an involvement that shook the foundations of wrestling entertainment because it blurred the lines between reality and fiction, sports and cinema, martial arts and wrestling. For the first time, Steven Seagal's name wasn't trending because of his movies. It was because of WWE, and fans couldn't stop talking about it. To understand why this moment stunned everyone, you have to remember Steven Seagal's aura. For decades, he was portrayed as the unbeatable action star, the lone wolf who walked into every fight calm, ruthless, and unstoppable. His Aikido skills, his cold stare, and his reputation as a real fighter made him unique in Hollywood. Unlike other stars, Seagal carried a sense of authenticity. He wasn't just pretending to be tough, he lived it. That's why his sudden involvement in a WWE match hit differently. It wasn't just another celebrity crossover. It was Steven Seagal stepping into a world where fighting spirit and spectacle collide. The night it happened, WWE was already buzzing with excitement. The card was stacked, the crowd was hot, and the atmosphere inside the arena was electric. But behind the curtain, whispers had begun to spread. Wrestlers in the locker rooms spoke in hushed tones. Producers exchanged nervous glances, and even commentators were left in the dark. Something big was brewing, something nobody dared to say out loud. When the match began, it seemed like business as usual, two superstars battling for supremacy. But halfway through, the energy shifted. A disturbance at ringside caught the audience's attention. Cameras zoomed in, and suddenly, the world saw him. Steven Seagal was there. The arena erupted. Gasps filled the air. Fans jumped out of their seats. It wasn't a look-alike. It wasn't a joke. It was the action star himself, sitting at ringside in a black leather coat, his arms crossed, his expression cold and unreadable. The commentators scrambled to find words, their voices filled with shock. Why was Steven Seagal there? What did this mean? Nobody knew. And then, just as the match reached its boiling point, the shocking truth was revealed. A distraction erupted between the referee and one of the wrestlers, chaos spilling outside the ring. And in that exact moment, Seagal stood up from his seat. The crowd went insane. Cameras followed him as he slowly walked toward the barricade, his presence alone enough to freeze both competitors in their tracks. Then it happened. The shocking moment that would be replayed endlessly. Seagal vaulted over the barricade with surprising agility for his size, stepped into the ringside chaos, and without hesitation delivered a brutal Aikido-style arm lock on one of the superstars. The move was fast, sharp, and devastating. The WWE Universe lost its mind. Security scrambled, referees panicked, and the crowd roared in disbelief. Steven Seagal had just physically involved himself in a WWE match. The superstar who took the hit screamed in pain, clutching his arm as he stumbled back into the ring. The other competitor capitalized instantly, securing the victory in shocking fashion. But nobody was talking about the finish. Nobody cared who technically won. The only thing anyone could think about was the sight of Steven Seagal, Hollywood's martial arts legend, twisting a WWE superstar's arm out of its socket in front of millions. The cameras captured the chaos perfectly. Seagal standing tall, unshaken, his trademark calm demeanor never cracking, even as security swarmed. The match result had been exposed as secondary. The real story, the shocking involvement, was all about him. The fallout was immediate and explosive. Social media erupted with disbelief. Clips of Seagal's arm lock went viral within minutes, with fans around the world sharing and debating the moment. Some hailed it as one of the greatest WWE surprises ever, while others criticized the chaos of bringing in a Hollywood actor. But whether fans loved it or hated it, nobody could ignore it. The involvement of Steven Seagal was exposed to the world, and WWE had once again created a moment that blurred reality with entertainment. The speculation spread like wildfire. Was this planned? Did WWE secretly sign Steven Seagal for an appearance? Or was it an unscripted moment of chaos? Fans dissected every frame, analyzing Seagal's technique, pointing out that it looked too real to be fake. His decades of martial arts experience were obvious in the precision of his movements, the way he executed the hold flawlessly. This wasn't just for show, this was Steven Seagal proving that even in the world of WWE, he could make his presence felt in a way that was terrifyingly authentic. For weeks after, the story dominated headlines. WWE itself leaned into the controversy, replaying the footage on Raw and SmackDown, teasing fans with questions about why Seagal was there. Rumors circulated that he had ties to one of the superstars, that he was preparing to mentor someone, or even that he was seeking revenge for a personal insult. The truth remained murky, but one fact was undeniable. Steven Seagal's shocking involvement had changed everything. What made this moment so unforgettable was its unpredictability. Fans are used to celebrity appearances in WWE, from Mike Tyson to Bad Bunny. But Seagal's aura was different. He wasn't there to perform, dance, or cut a promo. He was there to fight. His calm, stoic presence combined with his sudden burst of violence created a moment that felt raw, real, and unscripted. It tapped into the deepest part of what makes WWE magical, the blending of fantasy and reality in a way that leaves fans questioning what they just saw. Even months later, the story was still being discussed. Wrestlers gave interviews, some praising Seagal's involvement, others expressing fear at the idea of crossing paths with him. WWE legends commented on the moment, admitting they too were shocked to see the Hollywood star step into their world with such force. And fans? They couldn't stop asking the same question. Would he return? The legacy of Steven Seagal's shocking WWE involvement will live forever. It wasn't just a one-night spectacle. It was the collision of two worlds, Hollywood martial arts and professional wrestling, exploding into a single unforgettable moment. It showed that WWE is capable of anything, that no boundary is too far, and that surprises can come from the most unlikely places. Steven Seagal's shocking involvement in a WWE match wasn't just exposed, it was immortalized. It reminded fans why they love wrestling, why they tune in week after week, and why the words, "anything can happen in WWE," will always ring true.